Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me as I talk about movies and try to give you the heads up on which ones are the best for you and your time. So, the movie I'm reviewing today is called The Old Guard. This movie is rated R, it's 2 hours and 5 minutes, and the Movie Review Mom grade I'm giving it happily is an A minus. I thought it was a lot of fun. Let me give you a quick overview and I'll point out some things I liked and didn't like, as well as some tips for parents and some themes worth talking about and some suggestions. So first of all, in a quick nutshell, directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood, this superhero movie of sorts is based on the graphic novel The Old Guard Force Multiplied, Book 1 by Greg Rucka, which means that the film will have a sequel. And in fact, Netflix has already calendared out a sequel on its schedule. I'm glad to hear it because I was actually really entertained by this story and I would love to learn more about the characters because I didn't read the graphic novels and so everything was new to me. The screenplay was actually written by Greg Rucka, which means that the movie is really close to the source material and fans should be pretty happy. The story is generally about some immortals who try to keep their existence a secret while scientists try to find them and exploit their powers. There's a lot more to it than that, but it's a really cool idea to gather these warriors of sorts from different time periods in history. Now, some tips for parents are, first of all, there are a lot of dead, bloody bodies. There's tons and tons of violence, sometimes with shooting of weapons, sometimes hand-to-hand combat and that kind of thing. There's some profanity, including some F-bombs. There's a scene where two gay men kiss. And thankfully, that's all you see. Apparently, in the graphic novels, there are quite a few sex scenes portrayed with Andy, but they were taken out of the movie, which is kind of surprising because it is rated R and they could have, but I think honestly they just ran out of time, which is good. What's cool about the weapons is that they are both modern and ancient. So that's kind of fun to see how they fight with different weaponry. Now, some themes that are positive and worth talking about are fighting for what's right, teamwork, time, and I love movies that are time fluid with time loops and that kind of thing. However, there aren't time loops per se, other than these immortals have lived for centuries and in some cases thousands of years. Another really interesting theme is finding your life's purpose. And these immortals, like the rest of us, are trying to figure out what is their purpose in life and why are they the ones that have been selected to live forever. Other themes are family and love. And even the definition of family is a little bit different. It's the friendships, the close relationships that you have. Now, some things that I liked first are Charlize Theron. I just think she's fantastic. She's believable in every role and is a movie machine. She has actually been pumping out 2 movies every year since 2014. That's pretty impressive. So she read this graphic novel while she was filming Atomic Blonde, which is a movie I also recommend. I love watching her kick butt. She's gorgeous. She's awesome. But anyway, she was reading the script while she was filming that movie, and she instantly thought that it should be turned into a movie, so much so that she actually produced this movie. If you haven't watched the movie Atomic Blonde, go onto my website, Movie Review Mom, and you can read what I thought about it. She does incredible stunt work in both movies, and she's gorgeous to look at, as always. And in fact, when is she going to start aging? She might be immortal after all. The ensemble cast that surrounds her includes Kiki Lane, Matthias Schoenaerts, I know I'm not saying his name correctly, Marwan Kenzari, Luca Marinelli, and Academy Award nominee Chiwetel Ejiofor. Oh, I'm embarrassed. I know I'm saying those names wrong. They were all really fantastic and a real solid cast, and I loved seeing that. You get to spend some time traveling around the globe. You start off in Morocco, go to South Sudan, Afghanistan, Paris, and then England. The movie shows some pretty tough American women. Now, it's because they're in the Middle East and it's inappropriate in that culture for male soldiers to approach the women. And so they have the women there trying to establish relationships and get intel from the women in the village. And so you see these female soldiers working hard, just as hard as the guys. And so there's female empowerment in this movie for sure. I always appreciate some humor, even in dramas, and this movie has some. Now, one thing that I liked about this script is that it teaches us a little bit about each character so that we care about them. And that's really important because they're immortal and they can die, but they immediately come back to life. So if you didn't care about them, you just go, whatever. You wouldn't even care when they are in perilous situations. And even though your brain knows that they can come back to life, you're still worried about them because you have learned a little bit about them. However, just to put a little tweak in the storyline, they can die. And so you are a little bit nervous at times when you're not sure if they're going to quite come back to life. Now, I mentioned Charlize Theron's stunt work. It's very good. It's solid. It's nothing we haven't seen quite before, but it's still very entertaining. And the choreography isn't nearly what it is in John Wick movies. I would love to see Andy, played by Charlize Theron, get together with John Wick. That would be quite a little battle or a romance or both. Now, there were some things that I didn't like. And first of all, there's a lot of exposition scenes, although I admit it's needed, especially for viewers like me who have never read the novels, right? But it's done in a clever enough way that it's not too bad. There's a new warrior, a new American soldier who becomes immortal. And so everybody has to explain to her what's going on and how things work. Now, some of the details, the rules of their immortal rejuvenation are a lot not quite clear. You don't really know exactly how everything works. It seems like there's lots of exceptions to the rules that you think you know of. Some of the camera work is shaky because scenes are filmed from far away and then zoomed in, as opposed to up close and right there. So it's not the best in those action sequences, but it didn't ruin my enjoyment of the action scenes at all. Some of the characters' motivations seem to kind of switch back and forth, which can be really frustrating. Like, I'm good, no, I'm bad, no, I'm good. Some of the music choices were a little odd because you would be right in the middle of a dramatic scene, and then all of a sudden, some pop music would start up with lyrics, which was kind of distracting and would kind of pull you out of the scene just a little bit. Not too much. Again, I still enjoyed the movie. I'm just pointing a few things out. Now, one thing that I thought was a missed opportunity is that it would have been really fun to see an exaggerated difference between these different immortals because they came from different time periods. So it would have been cute if they'd had different accents. They all speak with an American accent, or have them use different words from different time periods and have everybody go, what? Oh, yeah. And then they say what the word is. Now, I guess it's assumed that they have evolved over the years and now they're in modern day life. And so they use American lingo, although that doesn't quite make sense because they're traveling all over, but whatever. All right. And then I wanted to give you some suggestions for movies. I mentioned before Atomic Blonde. And then if you haven't seen 12 Strong, it's an army movie in the Middle East. And so I just thought of it because so many of the scenes are in the Middle East, especially at the beginning, and they're trying to deal with all of the people, the villagers. And by the way, another new movie that recently came out is called The Outpost, which is really good. It's very well done. Watch my video review of that one and see what you think about that as well. I'll put those links to those videos down below. Be sure and visit moviereviewmom.com, where I have all of the funny lines that I caught. Well, not all of them, but some of them that I caught, and some interesting lines that I thought were worth mentioning. All right, so if you're running out of things to watch on Netflix, there's my review so you can kind of get an idea of what you might be in for if you decide to watch it. And if you do watch it, I hope you enjoy it. All right, thanks again for supporting my little channel. Be sure and subscribe, ring the bell, join my Facebook group, tell your friends. You know the drill. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.